trouble with the last part of your listening test, which is the part 4, in which you are required to fill in the blank, right? So don't worry, you'll be fine, because later on I will share with you my personal system to show you how I actually go through the part 4. And I guarantee that my personal system will make the whole process a lot easier. So this is my SPM 2022 results. So later on we'll look into a past year question together to show you how actually we can apply my personal system into the question. Alright, so let's get started. So before anything, the first thing that you must know is that for those students who find it hard to catch up with the audio, one of the biggest reasons is that before they play the audio, you already roughly go through the passage, right? So when they start to play the audio, some of you tend to quickly go through each sentence again. So while they're playing the audio, no matter how fast you read through each sentence, by the moment you start to read, you start to lose your focus to the audio. So that's why you find it hard to catch up with the audio, because it's really hard for our brain to juggle multiple tasks at the same time. So this is where my system comes into play. Alright, so my system is really simple but powerful. It is called as guess. So let me show you how it goes like. So now part 4, you will hear a student, Thomas, discussing with his mother, blah 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 blah. Use no more than one word for each space. So before we enter part 4, we'll go through part 1, part 2, and part 3 first, right? So if there's no changes in the format, and if I'm not mistaken, for example, in part 1, we will have 30 seconds to read through the question first, and after we've done with part 1, we will have about 1 minute to check our answer for part 1. So this is how I will allocate my time. Within that 1 minute, I will spend at most 20 seconds to check my answer for part 1. And within the 40 seconds that is left, I will quickly come to part 4 to go through this passage by using my system. So this is how I allocate my time. Alright, so now let me show you how to go through the passage by using my system. So my system is called as guess. That means when we go through this passage, we should guess what should be in the spaces here. And we should write down what we guess at the side. Okay, so let's try it. Mrs. Ella is in the kitchen baking her son's favorite cake and muffins. Thomas has just arrived home from, I guess, a school or the name of a place. So he's feeling relieved that his what is finally over. I believe it is something like exam or other words that has the similar meaning. For example, test or other similar words. Okay, so his mother says that he can watch the weekend with his cousin. I guess it's spend, or it should be a verb, right? Or we can say enjoy, right? So Thomas could not resist having a piece of his favorite cheesecake because it looks tempting to him. So I believe that this space here should be part of the name of the cake. The first thing that popped up in my mind is the flavor. We can have, for example, chocolate cheesecake, strawberry cheesecake, so on and so forth, right? So this is my idea, so I just write down. Okay, so everyone in the family loves cookie, and the next day she's going to bake almond cookies. Before that, she needs to go to the word to get some almonds. Obviously, this should be market or supermarket or the similar words. Then in the afternoon, Thomas is going to help her with that after school. Mrs. Ella is going to wait for Thomas, who will be back from school after completing his science project, I guess. Or we also can say assignment, right? Or can we say homework? Wait, no. I think homework doesn't really make sense, because here he said that Thomas will only be back from school after completing this thing. So for homework, it is not a must to complete our homework before we come back from school, right? So I think homework doesn't really make sense, but if we are not sure, then we can just leave it here like this, no problem. Alright, so therefore, she will prepare dinner before baking. Mrs. Ella and Thomas agree that baking what pieces of cookies will be enough. Here I think it should be number, and this number should equal or more than 2 because we got S here. Okay, so it shouldn't be one piece, no. Can we say some pieces of cookies? I think it's not really make sense if we put some here, because if we say some pieces of cookies will be enough, I still don't know how many will be enough, right? So that's why I think some is not really suitable here. But never mind, the same thing. If we're not sure, we just leave it here like this. Okay, so she will start preparing dinner while Thomas does his homework, I guess. The family is going to eat roast and cream of mushroom soup for dinner. So the first idea I have is roast chicken. Because here we say roast, right? Usually we'll roast meat, right? And I often hear about roasted chickens, so I just put down chicken. So after dinner, they are going to what Thomas' uncle who has just returned from Hawaii. Obviously, it should be visit. Right, so this is my system. That means we should guess what should be the answer before we listen to the audio, and we should write down whatever that we guess. And by doing this, it will make our life a lot easier because we already visualize everything. When we're listening to the audio, we clearly know what we want, what we are waiting for. For example, the first one, we are waiting for the name of the place, and most probably it's school. And for the second one, we're waiting for exam or test or some other similar words. And the third one, we're waiting for a verb. And later on, we're waiting for a flavor or some other things that is part of the name of the cake, right? So we clearly know what we want. So now you will 100% concentrate on the audio. Alright, so the pink color words are the answers. So we can see like school and test and enjoy and supermarket, project. So almost everything is under control. So this is how simple but powerful my method is. Alright, so here's the thing that you should know, which is sometimes the audio can be quite tricky. For example, this. John said, I think we should go to the library to do the revision. Lily said, I think cafe will be a better place. John said, I doubt that the cafe will be quiet. Lily said, I agree with you. So now my question is, where did they go in the end? Is it library or cafe? So the answer is library. Why? So can you see the word doubt here? They use the word doubt to trick the student. And for your information, this is a similar question that really came out in SPM 2022 in my listening test. I already modified the question, but the main thing is that they use the word doubt to trick the student. So let's see what does it mean by doubt. So this is from Cambridge Dictionary. So doubt means that you are not confident about something. So for example, let's look at the second example here. So they had begun to doubt that it could be done. That means they are not confident that it could be done. That means they think that it cannot be done. So the same thing here. I doubt that the cafe will be quiet. That means I am not confident that the cafe will be quiet. That means I think that the cafe will be noisy. So this is how they trick the SPM 2022 students. So this is an extra info for you. Alright, so don't forget to smash the like button below and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And the sun, have a nice day.